Which animal class does the Komodo dragon belong to? The Komodo dragon belongs to the reptile class. This is correct because it shows defining reptile traits. For example, the Komodo dragon is associated with venomous bite, and it is widely known as largest living lizard. Understanding classification helps identify shared body structures, life processes, and evolutionary relationships. Which of the following animals is most strongly associated with the coral reef habitat? Moray eel is the best answer because it is commonly found in the coral reef. This habitat is characterized by colorful underwater habitat, and moray eel has adaptations that help it survive there. Matching animals to habitats is important because environment strongly shapes feeding, movement, and survival strategies. What type of diet is most typical for a newt? The correct answer is carnivore. A newt is typically described as a carnivore based on what it usually eats in nature. This dietary pattern fits its body design and behavior. In this case, its aquatic breeding supports the way it obtains or processes food. Knowing diet types helps explain food, webs, and ecosystem balance. Which biological adaptation best matches this description? Helps an animal resemble another species or object. Mimicry is correct because it directly matches the description. In animal biology, mimicry is an adaptation that improves survival or reproduction in a specific environmental context. Scientists study these traits to understand how species persist under pressure from predators, climate, and competition. Which animal is best known as the animal famous for carrying its young in a pouch? Kangaroo is correct because it is the animal most widely recognized for being the animal famous for carrying its young in a pouch. This fact is commonly taught in zoology and general science. These record holder facts are useful because they highlight standout anatomical or behavioral adaptations among species. Which animal is especially known for living and hunting in packs? Wolf is correct because this behavior is strongly associated with that species. Behavioral adaptations help animals feed, avoid danger, and reproduce successfully. In the case of the wolf, this behavior is a major part of how it survives in the Northern Hemisphere. Which body feature is most closely associated with a hummingbird? Rapid wing beats is correct because it is a characteristic feature of the hummingbird. This body structure is not just recognizable. It also serves a functional role in survival. For example, it may help with feeding, movement, defense, temperature, regulation, or communication. Which conservation problem is best described as this? Harmful waste damages ecosystems. Pollution is the correct answer because the description matches that conservation thread exactly. This issue can reduce population size, disrupt breeding, and damage ecosystems. Understanding conservation vocabulary is essential when discussing endangered species and habitat protection. Which animal best fits this statement? It lives in the ocean. Octopus is correct because it better matches the statement than the other options. Comparison questions test whether you can connect animals to their core ecological context. Here, the key is recognizing the species most strongly linked to that environment or lifestyle. Which animal is best known for this life cycle fact? It begins as an egg, hatches into a tadpole, and later develops legs and lungs. Frog is correct, because that life cycle detail is a defining biological fact about the species. This relates to the concept of metamorphosis, which is important in zoology because it shows how development and reproduction vary across animals. Life cycle knowledge also helps explain survival strategies at different stages of life.